Hey there, Alan here, rvacrossamerica.net. It's nearly the end of January. It's early in the morning, and there's a dusting of snow on the ground. And that's been a very rare event here this winter in southern Utah. We are in a drought, and the ski area is sweating it out because it's been a couple of months since we've had any real significant snow. And it may very well be an early end of the season. There's a forecast for temperatures by the weekend here in town to reach up into the 60s. So, what can I say? This post is going to be about RV financing, and it is a follow-up to my post earlier in January about the smoke and mirror season, otherwise called RV show season. RV financing is a very important topic, and I've got a lot of good information for you. Sandwiched in between those two posts, by the way, was a post about Beaver Canyon and Beaver, Utah. It's spectacular scenery. I encourage you to go to rvacrossamerica.net and check that out. I will have a part two to that particular post. In late October, I went up into Beaver Canyon and actually caught some fresh snow. It's back when it used to snow here. And I showed the first part where I headed up towards Kent's Lake, and it's spectacular. And then I'll be showing the next part where I head up to Eagle Point ski area, which didn't open until late December, and they are struggling every bit as much as we are down here in southern Utah. So the post itself is going to be the written post will be at rvacrossamerica.net/. RV finance tips. That's RV like recreational vehicle, RV finance tips. And again, there's important information and tips you need to know. To give you a rundown on what's in there and what my thoughts are about the RV financing situation at this time, the most basic message is don't rush into it. And again, if you're at an RV show, everything is designed psychologically to get you to sign on the bottom line and commit to a loan document that you will be locked into for 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. There's some talk of loans going for even longer than 20 years, and that's just kind of crazy. And I give some very specific examples in the post about what you're really going to pay in interest and also some other issues on how to avoid ending up upside down if you want to sell the camper 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So don't rush into it. I'm not opposed to RV loans. And as I note in my written report, and I also noted it in the RV show post, there are cases where it makes sense to buy an RV. And if it means going into debt and signing a note, it makes perfect sense to do that. There are times, for example, when you're raising a young family and the kids are old enough to appreciate the travel, but not old enough where they don't want to be with you anymore. They're in that in-between age that they're a pleasure to travel with, and you know that you can enrich their lives and your lives by traveling as a family. It makes perfect sense to get an RV at that time and not wait 3, 4, 5 years. And at that point, maybe the kids are, middle-aged teenagers and they're caught up in sports. And it's like, gee, Dad, I'd love to go, but I've got double and triples, for half the summer as I prep for football or soccer or whatever the sport is. That's the time to get an RV loan and to go out with the family and do it. So, my basic questions that I want you to consider are ask yourself, do you need, when you buy an RV, do you need this much RV? Do you need to spend the amount of money that you're being encouraged to spend, especially by a salesman who's living off commission? And very often the answer to that is no. And the second question is, are you getting the best possible deal? If you're at an RV show, of course, everything is designed to say, oh, this is the show special. This is only at the show. That's nonsense. And this is a deal that you're never going to see again. Well, maybe a little bit of searching online or a call to me because I'm a concierge and I run a buying service for RV buyers. Just give me a call at 307-269-2546. But if you check and do your due diligence, you may find out that this deal of a lifetime is not necessarily the deal of a lifetime. And the third question is now the time? And that's again, like I gave the example of being a young family, or maybe you are planning retirement or recently retired and you're still healthy and you want to travel while you're healthy. That's important too. And that's a great time to go. Or a third scenario that comes to mind, are you a young professional that is not tied to a desk? Are you able to work on the road and from a distance? And with modern technology and with communication, there's no limit as to where you can be and still perform your work duties and also do it in spectacular scenic settings with great experiences, just literally right outside your door as soon as you get done doing whatever you have to do for a living. So we get into the weeds in that post. We get into the weeds. Understand that RV loans are recreational loans. They're going to hold you to a higher candle when it comes to getting the loan as far as your credit score. They're going to be looking at your credit history. If you don't have a credit history, it's very difficult to get an RV loan. They are also going to give you a longer term that will tend to reduce your monthly payment, but it's going to come probably at the cost of a higher interest rate. Interest rates at best are going to be about 7%, which on the surface may look similar to cars and trucks. But when you look at cars and trucks, there are very often, especially right now, promotional interest rates available because frankly, if we're talking about trucks, the big three can't give them away. So while you can get great deals on truck financing and car financing, RV financing is still a challenge. And while you might get better than a 7%, it's going to be probably for a short-term loan and it's going to require a significant down payment, which goes back to the question of how much RV do you really need? I mean, I get into a couple of examples. I recently had a woman purchase a Class C for a little bit over $40,000. It was a few years old, but it was in excellent condition, and it turned out to be a great buy. And she was one of my clients. Um, we worked on it. We found her the right unit and we decided you don't need to spend 60, 70, $80,000. $40,000 is all you needed to do to get everything that you need out of a camper and have it serve you for years to come. So that's a classic example of, do you need that much RV? Understand that RV loans can be long term. And that means once you sign, you're committed to it. Again, as I mentioned, 10, 15, 20 years. So without dragging this on, go check out my post for all the details in the weeds. rvacrossamerica.net / RV finance tips. rvacrossamerica.net / RV finance tips. Anyway, I'm Alan, that I'm sure of, rvacrossamerica.net. You have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're seeing this, and I look forward to hearing from you if you're in the market or if you need to sell a camper. I can work with you there too. Anyway, take care, be good, go check the post. Oh, and leave me a subscribe, a like, a message, a share, whatever you feel motivated to do. It helps with what they call the algorithm. Anyway, take care.